Welcome back. This week in AI, something really weird happened. A brand new model with, let's be honest, a bizarre name just rocketed to the top of the leaderboards, catching everyone completely off guard. So let's unpack what's really going on with Google's Nano Banana.
So yeah, this was the question lighting up the community. What on earth is Nano Banana? I mean, this thing just popped up on crowdsourced benchmarks, pretty much out of the blue, and started blowing past some of the biggest models out there. The speculation was running wild.
Well, the mystery is solved. Turns out, Nano Banana was just the internal code name for Google's brand new model, Gemini 2.5 Flash Image. After a few days of everyone guessing, Google finally came out and confirmed it was theirs. And folks, this isn't just some minor update. It looks like a genuine leap forward for AI image editing.
Okay, so what's the big deal here? What makes this model so different from everything else? Well, it really boils down to three breakthrough features that are already starting to change the game for anyone who creates visual content. First up is something called consistent edits. Now, if you've ever played around with AI image generators, you know the number one frustration, right? You try to create the same character or the same object in a bunch of different scenes, and it's never quite right. Well, this model is designed to fix that exact problem. What's so amazing here is its ability to lock on to the facial features of a character or the specific details of a product and just keep them the same edit after edit. I mean, imagine you're creating a character for a comic book. You could put them in a forest, then a crowded city, then on a spaceship, and they would look exactly the same every single time. This is a huge deal for storytelling, for branding, you name it. All right, the second game changer is what Google is calling semantic reasoning. This is a fancy way of saying the model doesn't just understand the words you type, it understands how the world works. It has this kind of built-in common sense. And as Google's own developer blog puts it, the model is tapping into Gemini's massive knowledge base. And this is where it gets really, really cool. For example, if you ask it to make a picture of a lasagna that's been baking for 4 days straight at 500 degrees, it doesn't just give you a perfect-looking lasagna. It knows that thing would be a burnt, charred mess, and that's exactly what it creates. It gets cause and effect. That's next-level stuff. And for the third trick up its sleeve, we have multi-image fusion. And it's pretty much what it sounds like, the power to take bits and pieces from different images and seamlessly blend them into one totally new picture. So think about it. You could take a picture of your friend, grab a separate picture of, say, the Eiffel Tower, and just fuse them together realistically. Or even crazier, you could take a photo of your living room, find a picture of a cool marble texture you like, and tell the model, hey, remake my room with this texture. And it just does it while preserving the lighting, the perspective, and all the little details. Now, all those features sound fantastic, but let's be real, talk is cheap in the world of AI. So how does it actually perform when you put it head-to-head with the competition? Let's take a look at the data. And wow, the numbers really do tell the story. On the LMArena leaderboard, which ranks these models based on what actual humans prefer, Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, our old friend Nano Banana, is sitting pretty right at the top. It's got an LO score of 1,362, which puts it comfortably ahead of huge players like OpenAI's GPT-4o. So this isn't just marketing hype. It's backed by real user data. Okay, this all sounds incredible, but you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on it? And what's the catch, right? So let's do a little reality check and break down the access, the cost, and the current limitations. The good news is it's actually pretty widely available already. For developers, you can get to it through the Gemini API and Google's AI Studio. If you're more of a casual user, they're building it right into the main Gemini app. And it's even popping up on third-party platforms like File.ai, which makes it super accessible for everyone. And the cost? Get this. On some of those platforms, the price is coming in at just under 4 cents an edit. Now, to put that into perspective, that means you can get about 25 of these incredibly high-quality, consistent image edits for just $1. For anyone planning to use this at scale, that price point is seriously competitive. But, and this is a big but, it's not perfect. It's really important to know the trade-offs here. So, on one hand, you get all those amazing strengths we just talked about. But on the other hand, users are reporting some real limitations. For one, the initial resolution is pretty low, around 480p, so you'll definitely need an upscaler for professional work. Every image also gets a Gemini watermark. The workflow for making a bunch of edits in a row can feel a little clunky, and some people are finding the content filters to be a bit, well, overprotective. So we've geeked out on the tech, we've looked at the benchmarks, but let's bring this back down to earth. What does all of this actually mean for you? How could this change the way you create things? Well, just picture a workflow like this for a second. A designer could create one single, perfect template for an employee ID badge. Then they could just feed the model a spreadsheet with names and a folder of photos. And the AI will automatically generate a perfectly uniform, high-quality badge for every single person on the team. This kind of automated asset creation was a massive headache before. Now it's becoming trivial.
And one last really important detail here, responsible AI. Google is embedding an invisible digital watermark called Synth ID into every single image this model creates or edits. So even if you can't see it with your own eyes, there's a way to prove that the content was AI generated. And that's a huge step for transparency and trust online. So when you put it all together, it's clear Gemini 2.5 Flash Image is way more than just another image generator. It's a powerful editing tool that's built on these core pillars: consistency, real-world understanding, and image fusion. It's really a model designed to give creators something they have been begging for: reliable, predictable control. And that leaves us with one final big question. For years, we've just gotten used to the chaotic, often hilarious, and unpredictable nature of AI images. But with models like this one offering so much fine-tuned control and consistency, are those days of random, distorted outputs finally numbered? I would love to know what you think.